Joe Rogan is a man that has worn many hats throughout his career. Some know him from his time as a comedian, some from his acting career, while most of us know him because of his time as the host of Fear Factor. But even though his career is no secret and his life familiar to his fans, it's unlikely that you know everything about him. In this video, we are giving you a roundup of 7 things you didn't know about Joe Rogan. Before we continue, make sure to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for notifications. Let's go! Number 7. He's trained in martial arts. Joe Rogan is clearly a pretty strong guy. That's something you can see. No one really wants to get into a fight with a guy that looks like he can fight, but that's not why you wouldn't want to face off with him. At the young age of 14, Joe Rogan became interested in martial arts. He says that it was the first thing in his life that made him believe that he wasn't going to be a loser. So he took that hope and started training. He continued to do so throughout his life and got so good that he is a Taekwondo Grand Champion. At the age of 19, only 5 years after he began practicing, he won the US Open Championship tournament, showing everyone that when he puts his mind to something, he does it, and he does it well. Although he retired from competing by the time he was 21, he kept up with martial arts by coaching other people. He even transformed his garage into a fully functioning fight space. It has weights, punching bags, exercise equipment, and even an entire octagon inside. If he ever wanted to get back into the game, he would literally be able to train from home. Number 6. He dropped out of college. Like most people, Joe also tried the whole go to school, go to college, and then get a job thing. But by the time he got to university, he realized his life was not going to go that way. While he was studying for his bachelor at the University of Massachusetts in Boston, he felt like he was wasting his time and that nothing he was learning at college felt like it was going to come in handy at any point in his life. So he dropped out. Rogan is infamous for saying that college is useless. He really hates college so much that he doesn't even do any comedy appearances there either. In one of his podcast episodes, he said, "I don't think they have enough life experience. I want to talk to someone who has had love affairs and jobs and has been fired and has had an education. I want someone who's got some living under their belt so they know what the F I'm talking about." Number 5. He has one of the most popular podcasts in the world. Speaking of his podcast, on December 24th, 2009, Joe Rogan aired the first episode called The Joe Rogan Experience. Initially, the webcast used to be uploaded on Ustream. By 2013, Joe Rogan began transferring videos of the podcast over to his YouTube channel. There, the whole thing blew up. He would upload multiple videos a day, some full-length, some snippets, and each of them started going viral. At their peak, several of his videos each week would cross the 2 million views mark. The podcast continued to grow so much that in 2015, it was one of the world's most popular. The growth didn't end there. In May of 2020, Joe announced that he had signed a deal with Spotify, and as of September, the podcast switched over to the platform and is exclusively uploaded there. 11 years after kicking off, Joe didn't sign the deal cheap. Rumor has it that the estimated money he made from the deal is somewhere around $100 million just for switching platforms with no format change involved. Number 4. He turned down an exclusive contract with MTV. Joe's first TV appearance was back in 1994 on a show that aired right after the MTV Half a Comedy Hour show. Right after his appearance, MTV offered him a 3-year contract to be on that production and be the host of a game show. Most people that are just starting out would leap at an opportunity like this, but Joe held out. He knew if MTV was offering him a deal this good, there was a chance he could score something even better. He decided on declining their offer and had his talent manager, Jeff Sussman, send over his tapes to every major network he could get in touch with. The gamble paid off. Suddenly, all the networks were bidding to get Joe to sign on. He ended up saying yes to Disney Network and continued to grow from there. Number 3. He started off as a Disney star. This brings us to our next point. When you think of Disney stars, Joe Rogan is not really the image that pops up into anyone's head, but it's there where he got his big TV break. In 1994, he starred in the 9-episode Fox sitcom Hardball as Frank Valente. While he did that, he kept up the comedy shows by performing at the Comedy Store in Hollywood for free. His acting career took off and he landed a 5-year-long spot in the NBC sitcom News Radio as Joe Gorelli. The role was originally meant for Ray Romano, but Joe was so good that the network replaced Ray with him. Rogan worked at the show until 1999, and by 2001, he became the official host of NBC's Fear Factor and stayed on for 6 seasons. Number 2. He almost choked a contestant on Fear Factor. When Joe was first pitched the idea of Fear Factor, he declined the offer, saying he didn't even believe a show like that could exist. He eventually signed on, and for the time that he was on, he was like Gordon Ramsay is in the food industry. He was known as the strict host that would not let anything wrong fly. In one infamous episode, a couple of contestants were unable to finish a task because one of them got too scared and gave up. The opposing contestants made fun of them and yelled enough to get in their heads. When they rejoined the rest of the cast, things got heated between all the contestants, and Joe told them that no hand could be risen on any of the competitors. Unexpectedly, one of the members of losing couples started to fight with him instead. Another contestant got in between them and broke up the fight. Joe talked about the incident in an interview a few years later and revealed that a lot more happened that was not aired. He was so angry that he wanted to choke the guy, but held back, only so he wouldn't get sued in retaliation. Number 1. He eats what he kills. If all the other points we have mentioned in this video don't make it obvious enough that Joe is a textbook example of a tough guy, this one will. Unlike the rest of the world, he doesn't just go to the grocery store, get meat, and cook his meals. Instead, he goes out to the wilderness, hunts, butchers the animal himself, and then takes the meat home to be prepared. Most of the time, there is not even a chef to do the cooking for him. He does that himself too. Although he has faced a lot of backlash for promoting his hunting lifestyle, he always claps back by saying that his chase is not for fun. His only intention behind each hunt is to harvest all of the meat and take it home. He feels that the way he eats meat is better than the people who buy it from corporate farms. The backlash still goes on though, but Joe Rogan, in true Joe Rogan fashion, just doesn't care. He continues to hunt and promote his eat what you kill lifestyle all over his social media accounts. That's a wrap for 7 things you didn't know about Joe Rogan. Which one of these caught you by surprise? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our Fact Factory channel for more videos like this. See you in the next one.